She just had a wispy mustache. It's not like a big bushy mustache that you'd remember. Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Maniacs. Mystery Maniacs is a comedy recap podcast dedicated to mystery TV. Each week, we dig into an episode of the show, including the murders, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love. This week, Poirot, the Double Sin. Actually, it's just Double Sin.
Double Sin.
Season 2, Episode 6. You're Sarah.
You're Mark.
And I'm Mark.
It's like double mint gum. You don't say the double mint gum.
Yes, you don't.
Double your pleasure, double your sin.
If you let your children ride the bus alone with $1,500 worth of miniatures, they can listen to this episode. It's a spoiler podcast.
We're gonna ruin it.
If you didn't know.
There's no murder, so...
But for all you people who dislike housekeeping, we have housekeeping at the beginning.
We have fun stuff, though.
We do. First of all...
We had our 5-year podversary.
Our last episode was released on the exact day of our 5-year podversary.
We forgot to mention it.
I can't believe that we're 5 years. It's insane.
I can.
That doesn't sound good.
Not in a bad way.
Okay.
All I have to remember is that we started before the pandemic, and that is so long ago, I'll believe just about anything. It feels like the before time. You know, if you said it was our 10-year podversary, I would believe you.
I put a bunch of stuff like quotes and stats in the newsletter, along with pictures of all of
our crazy titles.
Yes.
We were making each other laugh reading off episode titles.
Yeah, I made a reel that had all the images from each episode in it. And then also in the newsletter, which you missed if you've not subscribed to the newsletter, was a cute picture of Olive in a unicorn hat.
That I had to bribe her to wear.
Yes. And a little video if you click on it.
So last week, or was it the week before, we started
last week
a little feature with a little question of the week that we could all answer together, a little creative question of the week.
Oh, it was 2 weeks ago because I had Gen Con. Sorry.
We spend a lot of time online as a community going, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened in a Midsummer or in a Poirot or whatever? Wouldn't this be funny? And so we started to kind of pose these questions, and you've sent some in. And last week's question was a method of murder that we wanted to see.
In Midsummer.
In Midsummer specifically.
Yes. Known for its crazy, weird murders.
Dryers, wheels of cheese, trebuchets, cheese wires, you name it.
All that good stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Mark.
Yes.
What was your method of murder that
so
you
I have
came up with?
One that is...
Two?
Totally Mark on the nose. And
Cheater McCheaterson?
I forgot about the other one.
Okay.
One that's kind of out of craziness.
Okay.
The first one is typewriter or old media related things like projectors and things like that used as killing devices.
That happened in Misery.
It happened in Misery. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Misery had quite the effect on me.
Bashed over the head with a typewriter?
Yeah.
So what's your other murder method?
To make it look like it was Yeti or Bigfoot.
Oh, like tracks and claws and weird hair samples or something?
All sorts of...
Ooh, because then they could have like a Bigfoot hunter come and claim they know who did it. Kind of like in the UFO episode.
The UFO episode and
with
the
wolf
crop
circles.
hunter episode. Yeah.
Yeah, but you want it to be a Yeti?
Yes, I do.
Specifically Yeti, not Bigfoot.
Well, Bigfoot, Yeti, it's all the same thing.
Well, no, Yetis are Himalayan.
Okay. Geography-wise, yes.
So it would be Bigfoot.
Yes. What about you?
Picture it. There is a children's animal show.
Okay.
At the county fair.
Bunnies.
The fete.
Llamas.
Children have brought their snakes, their rabbits, their rodents, mice, rats, all that stuff. The judge, universally hated and soon to be dead.
Yes.
The children have their pets in their hands for judging.
Yes.
Right? They're nice little docile pets.
Guinea pigs. Gerbils.
Except the judge has been smeared with aggressive mice pheromone.
Oh, no.
And all of the rodents attack him. And then the snakes go, look, mice. And they attack him to get the mice. And that's how he dies. So he gets eaten by mice in front of everybody.
Death by rodent and snake attack.
Well, it's It's death by aggressive mice pheromone,
Okay.
which does exist.
Yes.
That aggressive pheromone that mice can put off that makes them attack each other.
Well,
I thought about bees really do it, insects really do it, but that's been done.
That's been done.
Bees have been done anyway.
Yeah.
And you'd have to really stake somebody down or something to have them be killed by like termites. So
Yes.
I went with the mice pheromone.
Okay.
That's
cool.
My Google history is broken again because I'm looking for what animals put off aggressive pheromones and can you harvest it?
Well, we asked you.
It's the harvesting that's the tricky part.
Dear listener, to
You have to get it
respond
from
to
their
the
pee,
same
by the
question.
way. You'd have to collect mouse pee. Make mice mad and then collect their pee. That's how you'd have to do it.
No listener mentions pee.
Their answers are probably better than mine.
So
You don't want mouse pee hidden in your pockets?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay, lay them on me. What did they come up with?
Okay. Danielle, who is a longtime listener from Columbus, Ohio, suggested the compound semaglutide,
Okay.
which is if you give it to somebody, it's basically pure insulin.
Oh.
So if you give it to somebody who is not diabetic, they will die.
Like an injection?
Yes.
Wow.
Lisa suggested a hot air balloon festival where someone, of course, falls and dies, but no one else is in the basket.
Ooh, I like it.
That's fantastic.
But it's one of those writing yourself into a corner things.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so how does it happen? I say spring-loaded bottom of the basket.
Yeah, that would work.
So that goes off, flings them out, but also flings itself out of the basket at the same time and falls somewhere separately. Maybe it has a little parachute of its own.
And everybody's looking at the thing
at
that
the
fell.
body and not noticing the spring-loaded wicker basket bottom.
Or it could be a drone. Could be a drone.
It could fly off by itself. Yeah. Oh, a drone attack on a basket balloon. Yeah. Okay.
Kath Woodman Maynard, a good friend of the show, an artist, suggested, because she recently had a hip x-ray, the heavy x-ray machine that you get your hip x-rayed on.
Oh.
The technician has to lift that up.
Yeah.
It's definitely a heavy machine.
That's like you could kill somebody with a CAT scan by putting something metal in them that they didn't know was there. I don't know how that would work. I think you'd notice, maybe. Bad idea, Sarah. Anyway, next.
Gregory suggests being bored to death. I don't really know how that happens.
Bored like ennui bored?
Yes.
Or bored by like a boring tool?
No, bored
okay.
like ennui. I don't know how our children are not bored to death with their lives, but... Kimberly suggested a set of great Highland bagpipes.
Oh, isn't there something where somebody shoots poisonous darts out of a bagpipe?
I don't remember.
Maybe a James Bond or something?
Maybe, I don't think so.
Or maybe they release a poisonous gas from the bagpipe?
Maybe. I don't know.
They have potential.
I'd have to look. Jess Bird suggests ice chisel. Lorna suggests...
Wait a minute, a chisel for chiseling ice?
Yes.
Or a chisel made of ice?
No, like chiseling ice in a sculpture competition.
Oh, okay. Because there's a lot of ice bullets, ice knives, that kind of thing.
No. Lorna suggested tickling to death. Kimberly, a kettlebell.
I think that's completely possible.
I think so, too.
Somebody, especially if you had asthma or something.
Pink Lady suggested frozen leg of lamb. She mentioned...
That's been done in Dorothy Sayers.
She mentioned it was in Alfred Hitchcock Presents. It's been done in both Dorothy Sayers and Roald Dahl.
Because you kill somebody with it and then you cook it.
Then you cook it. In the Roald Dahl story, the woman kills her husband with it, I think, and then feeds it to the detective.
Oh, that's dark.
It's dark. Well, it's Roald Dahl. Tib suggested the timely Olympic equipment, such as hammer throw and javelin.
There's so many
discus.
murder weapons,
Yeah.
especially in track and field.
Track and field is really, I'm really glad that they can't throw it longer than they can, because they couldn't have any other events.
Yeah, because the track would have to change size to make it longer, and then
Yes.
the runners would be impacted, right?
And
So
you can't
have
run
that.
multiple events at once, or else
Oh, gosh, no.
some poor guy running 4x100 gets hit by a javelin.
That's why they have qualifiers, because they know if they got a ringer who's going to double the record, they know.
Yeah, they know.
Though, those little cars that bring the javelin back, if you loaded it with the javelin facing point out and drove it into somebody, They'd never expect it.
We've watched too much Olympics, and there's lots of murder potential.
Those little cars that drive the javelins are amazing. They're
Saw
so cool.
the diving board in half.
Wow. The springy ones?
Yeah.
Not the platforms.
Not the
That's
platform.
never going to happen.
No.
Just on the note of Olympics, if you didn't watch any of the breaking, if you haven't watched any of the highlights, at least watch them. It's very cool.
Yep. Super cool sport. We have a question to ask for next week.
Yes.
Which is?
Next week's question is, what new activity or hobby could Joyce or Sarah Barnaby get involved with that would result in a murder?
Excellent.
That they haven't already in an episode, a new one.
And
if you want to get in touch and let us know your answers to the question, you can do it like this.
if you want to reach out to the Maniacs, you can email us at mysterymaniacspodcast@gmail.com. You can join our Facebook page, comment on our posts on Twitter or Instagram, or join our subreddit. You can also message us directly. We'd love to hear from you. Do you remember Michael Maloney from Father Brown season 1, episode 2? Where
Is he the one who plays the leader of the Sun Cult?
the Sun Cult leader?
Yep.
He's playing Poirot in London now.
I can see that. He has the
Yep.
right shaped head.
Yeah, he does. They're doing Orient Express.
On stage?
Yeah.
How do they do the train on stage?
I don't know, but I would love it.
It must be a
I love
cutaway.
trains.
Cutaway like of the side of it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I wonder if they move it back and forth across the
Oh,
stage
it's
to show
worth
you
it.
different carriages.
It's worth the trip to England to find
That
out.
would be neat.
Yes. And just a note that our next episode is the 19th of August and will be The
Cheap
Adventure
Flat.
of the Cheap Flat.
It's cheap.
It is cheap, but why is it cheap?
Let's talk double sin.
Yes.
This is fun.
That painting at the beginning fools no one.
No.
That rain at the beginning fools no one.
No.
It's sunny out.
I think Poirot has seasonal affective disorder.
I think he also does. Did you notice the nun?
Yes. She's not a nun. She's a professional nanny. She's
notes.
a nursemaid is what she is.
In my notes, I wonder if that's Sister Boniface.
She doesn't have little glasses on.
No.
Yeah, she's pushing the buggy
Yes.
around the feeble fountain.
Global cooling. That's a pretty hip joke for 1990.
Yeah, that it's global cooling.
Yeah.
Poirot's experiencing some global cooling.
Yes.
No, I will retire. I have no case. How many episodes start with this? He doesn't do this in the story, by the way. How many episodes start with, "Oh, I'm done. I have no cases."
and this is
the
pure-
ennui.
This is pure Sherlock Holmes, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's dark in Sherlock Holmes because he does cocaine when he's in this.
If he doesn't have a case, he's smacked out. Though, so the whole Hastings solves the case thing and Miss Lemon loses her keys thing are additions that the screenwriters put into this. They're not in the original story. And I love them both. So, no, I'm sorry. The Japp lecture tour and the Miss Lemon loses her keys are additions. And I love them both incredibly amounts, like huge.
Mr. Dicker is perfect. I love how he just walks in.
Mr. Dicker.
Yeah, he's the
doorman.
The doorman.
Yeah. Whose hat squashes his ears? Is that a thing?
I guess.
You set your hat on your ears? I don't know. The urchins in the hallway. They are credited as first urchin and second urchin.
They're trying to get money for the guy.
I guess for the newspaper?
No, I think it's for Guy Fawkes Day.
No, I think the guy is their boss, the adult who's outside.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Because this is like August, right? Isn't that the date on the poster for Japp?
It is.
So that wouldn't be, that's in November.
But
Guy
Miss
Fawkes Day.
Lemon and Hastings are worried about Poirot.
Because of his ennui.
Yes,
This is one of my favorite lines in all of the David Suchet Poirots. When Hastings says, "Have you seen the photo of him at his christening? He looks like he's about to address a board meeting."
Yes.
I love that.
That is a fantastic
Because I
one.
immediately see Poirot in a little in the christening dress and the little lacy bonnet, and he's a baby, but he has the mustache. As an infant,
He can't
has
have
the
the
mustache.
mustache as
In
an
my
infant.
head, he has the mustache and the pince nez. Like, even as an infant, he's very serious. They know exactly who he's going to be.
So now Christie's pretty cagey about Poirot's youth.
Yeah.
You know,
We get a hint that he is a child of a poor family, that there are more siblings and at least one younger sister, I think. And that's about all we know. When he leaves as a refugee, he doesn't talk about family. We don't really know what his childhood was like.
I think all of that is complete fabrication.
You do?
Yes.
So Mark and I sort of challenged each other to come up with what Poirot's childhood was like.
I believe Poirot is the son of itinerant con men.
Oh.
That his father and his mother were con men.
Confidence tricksters, huh?
Yep. And they were obsessed with how they looked. They wanted to have the best clothes. And they only gave him love when he dressed properly.
And helped them in their cons.
And helped them in their cause.
And so that's why he's on the straight and narrow now.
Well, he, and this should ring familiar for you, it does for me, realized at an early age he may be smarter than his parents.
I don't know about my parents. My sibling, yes. I was always mean about that.
And
Sorry,
see, that
Laura.
puts you in a weird place, right? Because you want to respect your elders, but you're like, that's a stupid thing to do. Why are you doing
So that's the vision of his childhood that you have?
That's one of them. The other one is kind of the Batman scenario. His parents were victims of some sort of crime, and he has dedicated his life to crime because of it. He has to have, at some point in time, received the best praise in his life for being fastidious. And that's what I think that moment of dopamine is what causes him to continue.
You took this in a very serious way.
I did.
My interpretation of his childhood was that he was a nerd and grew up in the countryside in Belgium and tried to get everybody to play games like, let's sort these rocks from large to small, you know? And that he probably waxed his bangs as a child to make them split exactly in the middle.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know? And that in puberty, when he started to grow a mustache, he tried to wax his whisker, like his little wispy mustache. Until it grew in.
Now, I also have a love story aspect to this. I thought a lot about
What?
this.
Okay,
Yes.
we've gone way off. You got to tell us a love story fast.
So, do you think he was either the victim of unrequited love, like he loved somebody and she did not notice him at all, and then he decided love was not for him, or
Until he meets the Countess.
or it was the other scenario where a young lady loved him and he did not notice until it was too late.
Oh, I think it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or he's a young constable and he realizes the girl that he loves is bad.
Maybe she's working with his parents.
Yeah. And so he can't love her.
Yes.
Oh, we've gone too far.
So I love these stories. I do love these stories.
I get you. Maybe Poirot and Hastings met as children.
That's what I love to think. Hastings.
Hastings isn't even a challenge. He's in little tweed short pants.
Yes, but Hastings.
Playing soldiers.
Yeah,
Like that's what he's
like
doing.
his parents came to visit Belgium or something.
Or he's captain of the cricket team or something.
Something.
Yeah. Okay, you're in a complete need of a complete overhaul, Hastings. We must go to the seaside.
Yes. Which,
Actually, Poirot has seen that Japp is giving a series of lectures and is stalking him.
well, and there's another kind of joke here. Because they say we went to the seaside, but the hotel is called the Midlands Hotel.
Yeah.
Because that hotel is actually called the Midlands Hotel. Now, it's not in the Midlands,
No.
but
But they put a mermaid statue in the parking circle. That makes it at the beach. Duh.
yeah, the mermaid statue isn't there.
No, it's not there. It can't. I didn't even have to look that up because it's just sitting in the gravel. It would get run over every day by cars.
Yes.
Every day.
Absolutely.
It would be on a plinth. It would
So
be
the
substantial.
painting, the mural, did you see
No,
what
it caught my eye, but I couldn't see what it was.
So it says on it, hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn.
Oh, the one on the roof? On the
Yes.
ceiling?
Yes. So that is a reference to Triton, who is the herald of Poseidon. So he says, hey, Poseidon, when you're going to show up somewhere, let me know.
I'll let him know.
I'll show up.
I'll blow my...
blow my horn. The original of that piece of art was destroyed 2 years after it was originally created because they had such bad plaster.
Oh.
It just started falling apart one day.
From the ceiling?
Yes.
Oh.
So
that could hurt somebody.
they recreated it, and while it was recreated, they filmed this episode.
Nice.
So
I was too busy thinking that Poirot looked like a creep on the beach in his trench coat.
he does.
Like he's going to flash somebody. Or like he's two people wearing a coat trying to look like one person, you know?
He sits on the I'm creepy scale sometimes.
Yeah.
And he has to be careful.
I mean, I guess it's not really warm, but it's not that cold.
Hastings tells a good joke here about the horse that started out 5-1 and came in at 215.
Yeah. And Poirot doesn't get it.
That's a great joke.
The growing of the mustache is an art. I have sympathy for all who attempt it. That's why I'm thinking that Poirot had to work really hard at that mustache. He has to nurture it and take care of it.
There's an advertisement for jelly deals and Winkles.
Jelly deals. The concept grows me out. We've talked about it before.
By the way, if you haven't watched The Change on Britbox, it is fantastic.
Bridget Christie, it's really good.
It
It's
has
really good.
Strange eel parts.
Eel ladies, you got to watch it. Yeah, that's in what we're watching.
It's not a detective show, but
No,
it's definitely.
but it's so good. We binged it in 2 nights. We couldn't stop
She
watching it.
was so fantastic on Taskmaster.
Yeah, she's really
and she
funny.
writes and directs this.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. So she did. It is a great exploration of women's roles.
Yeah.
So
then we get this scene with Mary and her aunt talking about the miniatures.
yes.
And this is weird, right? Because
Yes.
they're the bad guys.
Yes.
So they are pretending amongst themselves not to be bad guys.
Well,
For us.
I watched the scene twice. If you understand what's about to happen, they don't say anything wrong.
Oh, okay. I watched it, but I still didn't see it that way. But I
Are you
believe you.
certain you know what to do?
Okay.
Yes, I do. No one will see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the miniatures that they're talking
The
about.
problem that she says, the problem is that this is her first big commission, which if they were real criminals, they'd probably say score there instead of commission.
Well, but they're not going to be that unseemly about it.
No, but that's
They'll
the
call it a
only
commission.
problem there.
So the miniatures are by Jean-Baptiste Jacques Augustin,
Yes.
who is a real miniature painter. That's not the name of the artist in the short story, but they substituted in a real miniature painter. He did,
And these are 1812 miniatures.
well, they're Napoleonic,
Yes.
so they're earlier than that.
No, Napoleon's 1812.
Well, but these are of his original marshals,
Yes.
so they would be a little bit older than that.
early 19th century.
Yeah. And they look absolutely like Augustine's work.
Yes.
But what was odd as I was looking at Augustine's work, and he did a lot of military officers, but he also, of course, do you know the purpose of miniatures like this? Like how they were used?
They're almost
time.
like souvenirs.
Like it's like having a photo in your wallet.
Yeah.
Right? There wasn't photographs yet. So if you were going away, you might have a miniature painted to leave with the person you love so they could see you, whatever.
Yes. Putting your hair in them is just creepy.
Yeah, but that was a thing that they did all the way through the Victorian era.
Yep.
Later, they did it with dead people's hair more
Yes.
than not. He painted a lot of miniatures of women,
Okay.
right, to give to their sweethearts.
That makes sense.
It does until you notice a surprising number of them are of women with one boob out.
He's French, right?
Well, his name is Jean-Baptiste Jacques Augustin. What do you think?
Clearly, he's an Irishman.
Yeah.
I think it might relate to the goddess of freedom. I think it is.
The French victory
Yeah, I think that
has one breast out,
yes.
too. Yes.
I think that's what it might be a way to convince these ladies to show their boobs.
Yeah, there's all this symbolism around it. It's a symbol.
Honey, it's victory. Drop your dress.
It's a symbol of nurturing. It's a symbol of female beauty and all that stuff. But it doesn't hurt if your boyfriend's going off to war and the little picture you send him, you give him to take with him is of you with your boob out.
Just saying.
Just saying. They're beautiful. But yeah.
And then he goes to the boyfriend and is like, this is the only one, unless you pay a little extra.
I would hate to duplicate this picture of your girlfriend with her boob out. Because I could. I've got these already made up and I just paint the head on.
We've turned miniatures into revenge porn.
Whose hair is that? The whole Kane and Lady Manderley.
Yes.
I want to call her Lady Marmalade.
You should call her Lady Red Herring.
Yeah, there's such a red herring, and everything about him bothers me. Kane is a novelist, right?
Yes.
So, though he's wearing a very respectable tweed suit, he has to have on this
floofy cravat,
this floofy bow tie,
I guess.
And he has a big mole on his forehead.
Giant mole on his forehead.
I forgot about that being a plot point, and when I first noticed it, I was like, dude had a bad zit, and makeup artist did her best. Her very best to hide it. And it's not fooling anybody.
It's like a bad car chase. It's bad red herrings. It's from the original story.
He is.
But
he just has an alibi. He checked into a hotel. That's it. Yeah. That's all there is.
It just seems a little sparse.
Could not be worse at disguise.
Oh, she's horrible. When she drives her fancy car.
But don't mind me. I'm just the one in the trench coat buttoned up to my chin, the hat pulled down to my eyebrows. She may as well have lift shoes and a fake mustache and a hump on her back and a plastic nose. Nobody will recognize me.
I love when they start chasing them. No, when they get out of the car and the writer looks at Hastings and goes, "It's you." Because he recognized him.
Hastings should kill him.
I knew they were after us. I'm like, what? Who was that?
They think somebody from
No one cares.
They think her father has sent somebody after him.
Maybe.
But she says, why can't you just leave me alone? Don't you know what it's like to love a man? And Hastings like, well, no, not exactly. I like that.
Again, Hastings is on fire in this episode.
But that really is all we need to talk about with them.
Yes.
They're a bad side story red herring, really. They're just running away together. Okay.
The rest of the story is the young lady with the short hair pretends...
Mary.
Yes. Pretends to lose the miniatures.
Mm-hmm. After she's like, we're on a bus, and when we go home, I'm going to be carrying a whole bunch of cash. I hope nobody tries to take it from me.
Yeah, like Poirot picks up on that.
It'll be in small bills unmarked in my suitcase that looks like this and has my name on it.
Combination 666.
He lectures her quite a bit about it in the book.
Yeah, I think so. And then we find out that the miniatures were never in her case, that they're actually being sold then to the American for £7,000 instead of $1,500. Mm-hmm. And then it all comes out, right? It's revealed that they are actually the confidence tricksters against the Americans.
Because what they're hoping is that Mary says they're stolen. They'll realize that Bakerwood has them. They'll take them from him and return them to Aunt Pen, and then they'll have the money and the miniatures.
Yes, that's their goal, is to have the money and the miniatures.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Miss Lemon has lost her keys.
And has the best dream ever.
As near as I can tell, she spends 2 nights in Poirot's apartment.
She does.
Because she can't leave. Because she can't lock the door. And she can't get in if she does.
I would feel better about this subplot if the keys had fallen behind the table.
They fell behind a pear?
They were right beside the fruit bowl.
They were in the fruit bowl.
No.
And she doesn't put them in. When she gets them, she pulls them out of the fruit bowl.
When she puts them down, she puts them on the right-hand side of the fruit bowl. I watched.
Well, that's a plot hole, isn't it?
I guess so.
Because she actually put them in the fruit bowl, which is why she can't find them.
She has the weird dream where Poirot is speaking for Hastings, and Hastings is speaking for Poirot.
I like that a lot.
Fun.
It's funny.
Yep. Poirot is a bit of a fish out of water here, too. I love how Hastings goes, She must be doing some women's things.
Oh, when they leave the pub, when they're in the bus ride, where did she go? Oh, it must be some woman's thing. She ran outside. What do you... How little do you know about women that you think that's a woman thing?
But Poirot's upset because they're laughing at him.
This is not the first time he's been laughed at. The bumpkins are laughing at him. And then he smiles and nods and they go, hee 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 hee, some more. Like,
And they go, ooh.
oh, he looked at us. Oh, I got a big flat cap on and pig poop on my boots. I'm going to make fun of that French guy. The whole let's put Poirot on a bus thing when a train is so much more sophisticated, you know.
Yes.
It's funny.
So then there's just far too much. If he went to Ref Woodburn and he had a fast car and she had a plane and he was over here and they were over there and place name. And it's confusing and silly.
If this was a modern story, they'd have a dry erase board and a timeline.
Yes.
And a map.
Yes.
And they'd have little magnets of each of the people on the map and they'd be moving them around. But instead, they go and talk to Baker Wood at the Castle Hotel that is across the lake from the train station. So you have to take a boat. Beautiful boat.
You got to take a beautiful boat with the world's least helpful boat guy.
Yes.
Somebody may have gotten on my boat at some point in time
You
from
couldn't
somewhere.
pay attention to everybody. She just had a wispy mustache. It's not like a big bushy mustache that you'd remember. Speaking of the change, all those old ladies have big mustaches. I mean, come on, you can't tell them apart. Baker Wood says she was tall, elderly, gray-haired, blotchy complexion, and a budding mustache.
Now he's on it. He knows exactly what she looked like.
And Hastings is like, that was Kane dressed as an old lady. He had a budding mustache.
And you're like, no.
No.
Now, they haven't met the woman in the wheelchair yet, so they don't know.
But if you were a man trying to dress as an old lady, you wouldn't think, I'll keep my mustache. That'll fool everybody. That makes my old lady disguise more convincing.
It's like The Godfather. Keep the mole, shave the mustache.
Yeah, exactly. But I had to laugh. Baker Wood, he's American, you know. And he goes, hey, those are my goddamn miniatures.
Yep.
It's like saying, those are my goddamn My Little Pony figures. You know, like, I'm a big tough guy who collects little things. Many
miniatures.
With hair in them.
I like to move them around the battlefield.
One of them's got a boob out. That's my favorite. That's a weird marshal who wears his boob out. They're French, though, you know. French military men, they're different.
The boat to the train station always bothers me. I'm like, no, they wouldn't. How big is the lake?
Big enough that that's a more direct route. I can see that.
I guess.
If the boat goes back and forth every day, you're not going to have those fancy people having to ride all the way around the lake in a car when they could take a fancy boat.
I guess so.
Or they could ride with Hastings in his police car.
So Poirot, does he go to the aunt first to explain things? Mm-hmm. I think as soon as he sees the aunt, he's like, oh, this is what's happening.
Oh, I think he goes there because he already suspects.
Yeah, I think he suspects.
He's just going there to confirm that the aunt is the one that Brooks Wood was talking about.
Yes, and then
Baker Wood.
Hastings is all upset about telling her. He's sad.
I like Poirot's reaction when Hastings says he's going to see Mary tomorrow. Poirot's like, oh, you are? This'll be good. Because he's already got it figured out, basically. Like, this'll be interesting.
Well, and then Hastings thinks it's Wood, so he wants to bring everyone together. And Poirot's like, why aren't you telling me why this is?
Yeah, what is your cockamamie theory? Well, because for once, Hastings has decided that maybe things aren't exactly as they seem. He always wants to solve the mystery based on what he thinks are the facts and never questions them, right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea, Poirot initially says, well, maybe they were never in Redburn at all. Or maybe they didn't take a car. And he's like, oh, Hastings is like, maybe I should question. And then at that moment, he does it again. Maybe Baker Wood is lying.
Yes.
And he didn't buy them from some, like that
Which
unravels
are all
everything
valid
too. Absolutely.
to some respect.
Yeah. It would be far simpler if Baker Wood had just stolen them out of the luggage.
Yes.
He'd have them. He wouldn't have paid for them. End of story, right?
Okay. So let's cover the most touching moment of the episode. And then we'll cover woman in a wheelchair runs away.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have to talk about how Poirot should be better at disguise than I'm going to put my scarf across my face and run.
Yes.
And no one will notice me. Oh, come on. You know better than that. But yeah.
So he goes to the meeting.
Japp is really bad talking private detectives.
They're meddlesome troublemakers who live in dingy offices above chip shops. I want an office above a chip shop.
You'd hate that. Because you know what else they sell?
Fish.
Yes.
Poirot's about to leave. And then he says, that's true except for one.
Yeah.
And he said, then he talks about
It's so sweet.
how Poirot is the best.
It's so nice.
The doyen of the police force.
And then Poirot does the right thing and walks away instead of
Yes.
stepping up. It's me.
Yes.
I am the best.
No, that is the right thing.
Absolutely.
He needs...
And it just reminds you, Japp is on tour, basically. So he's saying that every time he gives his talk in all these places, he's saying that.
And he's raising money for the benevolent fund. He's not doing it for himself.
No.
Because I think Poirot at first was like, is Japp getting...
Paid off of pretending he solved the cases that I helped him with,
Yeah, I think he's that. But then it's not the case.
It's so sweet.
Yes.
It's so nice. Doesn't happen in the story,
But
but
then
it's really touching.
we go right into the weird dream. And then we have the confrontation, right?
Yeah.
So the young girl and the woman in the wheelchair arrive early, and they're waiting for the man, the American.
The constables are over at the next table,
Yes.
dressed in street clothes,
Being all constably.
looking like morons.
Yes.
Did you recognize one of them?
Yes, he's been in lots of stuff.
It's Constable Flagg. He's the one with the mustache. He's played by Gerard Horan. He was in A Midsummer. He was in Let Us Pray in season 16. But more recently, he is the head of the club in the Detectorists.
That's right. He is the head of the Detectorists Club.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, look, it's the head of the Detectorists, and he's such a baby. His hair's dark and everything.
Everybody's such a baby.
But the senior constable has mistakenly sat with his back to the action and he's regretting it, right?
Yes.
And then Flagg, the younger guy, is just eating sandwiches in one bite blah, 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 and narrating, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. And pretty soon the other constable just got his head in his hands like, because they're waiting for Wood to show up because his car is broken down. I could watch those two.
Yes.
They certainly don't take any flack off of Hastings.
No.
They trust him initially like, hey, this guy knows what's going on. Let's go with him. Let's chase these people. Let's do this. But then when it turns out they're just running off to elope, they're like, well, aren't you big smart city boy? Whatever, captain, you know.
Town mouse. So Baker Wood arrives and is like, it's a man, baby.
Why do Mary and Miss Penn agree?
I do not know. I do not know. It makes no sense.
I think they're still trying to get the miniatures back.
I guess.
So they're playing along to
But
get them
he
back.
obviously recognizes her right away.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, my aunt feels sick. We're going to go. Yeah, we're not
I
going.
love how she just takes off in the chair.
If only she'd like pulled her skirt up real high and like showed off like little skinny legs to run with, you know?
And the cops stop her right away, which is nice. And then the young girl who we thought was the picture of innocence from the very beginning.
Is no smarter than her aunt is and tries to run too.
Yep. After saying, you knew.
Like, where were you going to go?
Yes.
Home? Yeah. They're going to be there.
You.
She snarls her lip.
Yeah,
she really changes her face.
It's a great acting job.
For that.
Yeah.
That actress has only been in like 3 things.
Yeah. So then we have the last scene where we find out that Poirot actually came, as we suspected, to see Japp.
He has the newspaper clipping.
Yes.
So
On the back of it, learn to speak French like a French.
I like that. So did Miss Penn buy the miniatures fair and square, or do you think they're stolen to begin with?
I think they're probably either stolen to begin with or fakes.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
They're criminals. They do stuff like that.
They do?
Yes, they
Criminals
do.
break law and stuff?
Criminals break the laws and stuff.
I didn't know that. I hadn't thought about that. I really enjoy Poirot trying not to solve the case for Hastings.
And this is the second time he's done
And
it.
letting Hastings try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then not rubbing it in his face when
No.
Hastings is wrong.
No.
He's on the right track. He's not completely off, but he hasn't quite
He
figured
says
it out.
how much he loves Hastings.
Yes.
And he does.
Yes. Really, it should end with Poirot and Hastings and Japp giving each other like a high five, like a three-way high five. Yeah.
And pausing.
Yeah, like
an 80s
jumping
movie. Yeah.
with a triple high five, and it pauses right there.
Miss Lemon's entire story is not known to them.
Oh, they'll have no idea that happened because she will not tell them. And if the doorman tells them, she'll kill him.
I think she would.
She has very high standards for herself.
I wonder if he manages the cold troll.
He wishes he managed the cold troll. He aspires to be the cold troll.
So I have a question. We've seen this a lot in Christie. Mm-hmm. Do we expect anyone who is in a wheelchair to not need the wheelchair?
It's a trope.
Yes.
It's less of a trope now.
Yes.
The older the show is or the story is, the more likely it is that that could be a trick. But
Now,
you don't do that now.
Body in the living room, in the
Library.
body in the library, old Jeff is in a wheelchair, but he was in an explosion.
He's old.
He's old and wasn't in an explosion.
Yes. It's not all that common, but you do have to suspect.
Yeah.
Just in case. Less, maybe more so than, does Mary have a twin? Could there be a twin?
Yeah, it's not that tropey, but it's still pretty tropey.
So I don't have a bad movie for you this week, but I do have a bad movie. But not for you to guess, because there's no way you've ever seen it,
Yeah.
but I couldn't not mention it. So Elspeth Gray, who plays Miss Penn,
Yes.
she's an older actress. She's been in movies and shows for a long time.
Yes.
She was in a 1949 movie
Okay.
called The Gay Lady.
The gay lady.
Not gay lady. Not gay lady. The Gay Lady.
Gay lady.
But
Hey, gay lady.
the best part of it is the tagline. Are you
Okay.
ready for this?
Okay.
From her wink to her mink, this lady was gay.
There's no judgment there.
Talk about things that don't go over now.
Yes.
People in wheelchairs getting up and walking
Yeah.
and saying, from her wink to her mink, this lady was gay. Like that's the poster. Boom, the gay lady.
Wow. The gay lady.
I wonder if she ran in that one or had a mustache. Probably not.
Don't know.
She was rather glamorous when she was younger.
So they
she's
go to
beautiful at this
jail.
age. Yeah, I'd say they've probably done this before.
Now, Gold, not Gold. Is his name Gold?
Wood?
Wood. Now, Wood.
Some other basic material.
Now, Wood
Stone.
paid $7,000 for them.
Yeah.
Pounds.
Yeah.
He's not getting that back, I don't think.
Well, it depends if they still have it. If they find it in Miss Penn's place.
I guess, but then he doesn't get the miniatures.
Yeah, I don't think he can have the miniatures, unfortunately.
I don't think so either.
But it also depends how they got them.
Yes.
If they stole them from somebody else,
Then they should go to the rightful owner.
they should go back to that person.
And
And if that
Wood should
person
buy.
wants to sell them, if they're worth $1,500 and he pays $7,000, they might be willing to sell them since they've been without them this long.
So is the other trope.
Is he? Wait a minute. When they bring the couple to him to say, are either of these the old lady? Is he looking at a giant book of miniatures?
I think so.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. It's a humongous book, and on each page is a tiny picture.
In his castle hotel.
Yes. He's got the giant book of miniatures.
He is
Those are my goddamn miniatures.
the quintessential I'm a rich American that you can take advantage of.
Yeah, I have no taste.
How British. Do you think Poirot goes on tour with Hastings?
No.
With
Japp. No. It's Japp's show.
Because they know now. They absolutely know.
Poirot knows that Japp is not taking credit.
Yeah.
And he's doing a good thing. He's totally fine with it. He's going to wish him luck on the rest of his tour.
What do you think Japp's slide deck looks like?
I don't know, but I like his headshot.
Yeah. He's got a headshot.
That's pretty fancy.
Yeah.
You know? And we always joke about Japp being the only detective in all of the UK at this time because he is on a case no matter how far away it is. It could be in the north of Scotland and Japp would show up to solve the case.
Yeah, the Metropolitan Police kind of act like the FBI
Apparently.
in all these British shows.
Yeah. But the assumption that all of these little WIs would recognize Japp's name.
They're in the papers.
I suppose people used to read the paper like that, including How to Speak French Like a Frenchman.
Okay, that is.
Are you going to have a dream tonight?
What
of
is
like me speaking in somebody else's voice and
No. Sarah woke up last night confused if she had submitted the grocery order or not. And I reassured her as to what day it is. She does not believe this happened.
I don't remember it at all. I do worry I'm going to forget to place the grocery order.
But you did not speak in my voice when you woke up.
I didn't?
No.
That's good, because that would have been creepy.
would
And the
have been.
dog didn't speak in my voice.
No.
Olive at the foot of the bed going,
did not
Daddy,
speak.
did I forget the grocery order?
Is she British now?
Yeah, I don't know. What voice would she do? Would she speak French like a Frenchman? She's a Frenchie.
So what is the double sin here?
I have no idea.
The double sin is they pretend to have them and then they sell them again to him. Like that's the double part.
So it's a double trick.
It's a double trick.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if I would call it a sin.
Yeah, I think Christie is just like either heard or thought of this confidence game. Like,
Or is it double because there's two of them?
maybe.
And they're working
Could be.
together.
Of this confidence game and wanted to add it as a story. Wanted to talk about miniatures and mustaches.
So many people pretending to be other people poorly.
Yes.
Maybe that's the double sin.
Maybe.
It's a sin that they're so bad at disguises.
That foofy bow ties us in.
Poirot looks like Lemony Snicket in that coat.
Yes, he does.
Or like two kids piled on top of each other.
Yes.
And one has a really good mustache and a receding hairline. Bobby looks older than he is, but he's still really short. That's Poirot as a child. He rides on some kid's shoulder while they're wearing a coat.
Yes. Okay, the question for next week
is what new activity or hobby could Joyce or Sarah Barnaby get involved in that would result in a murder? In my opinion, the crazier the better.
Yeah, I would agree.
She's done watercolors, amateur dramatics, history societies.
All those things.
Those are all claimed. You must come up with something new.
So our next episode is 211.
The Adventure of the Cheap Flat. Why was it so cheap?
Which has a familiar face in it. Samantha Bond as a child.
It's a good one. They're all good ones.
Yes.
So until then,
which will be August 19th. Until then, bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs.
Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs.
But Superman was an alien.
But he came to Earth as a baby.